You're watching the NCAA Division II National Semifinal on ESPN. It's like a scene out of a Hallmark Christmas movie. The old mining town of Golden, Colorado, covered in a fresh blanket of overnight snow. The oldest stadium west of the Mississippi, the setting, as the beast from the east, Kutztown out of Pennsylvania, makes the long journey to the foothill of the Rockies to tangle with the top-seeded and national runner-up from a year ago, Colorado School of Mines. There will be history made this year. A first-time national champion will be crowned. Harding earlier today victorious. Will it be Mines or Kutztown? We're about to find out. And a pleasant good afternoon. Sean Kinney alongside Charles Arbuckle. Great to have you with us. What a setting for college football. I'll tell you what, the journey for these two teams has been quite different. Mines has been the giant all year, top-ranked, top-seeded, while for the Golden Bears from Pennsylvania, they've been the giant killer, 4 straight wins over ranked opponents.
Those Golden Bears know how to come back and win. They don't want to get too far behind this Mines team, but I tell you this, anytime they're in the game, they know how to battle. Mines, on the other hand, they have just been knocking people off. I'm really looking forward to this ball game.
How about we talk duos, dynamic duos at that? We start with offense, and nobody better in the country than Mines in this combination of Matocha-McLeod.
John Matocha is outstanding. Don't let that picture fool you. He is a guy that can make plays with his arm, with his legs. This team follows him wherever he leads them, and he has been dynamite this year. Throwing it to that young man, Max McLeod, who is outstanding. 44 career touchdown receptions, over 90 catches this year, makes plays. You know where they're going, but they still are able to beat you.
Defensively for the Golden Bears, second straight week that they will try to slow down a Harlan Hill finalist. They have 2 veteran linebackers to get the job done.
These 2 young men have to make plays, and I think the real thing with Tyler Wary and Cam Wolf are, if you call their name all game long, that means they have a chance, because you got to stop the running game, and then you got to make Matocha make plays. But you have to be there, and these 2 are too dynamic in that middle.
We had about 7 new inches of snow during the overnight hours, 33 degrees, partly sunny. The traditional landing here in Golden, Colorado. They do it the unconventional way as we are underway. Division II semifinal. Mines won the toss. They want the football, no surprise, and a big return, taking it out all the way to midfield, getting this crowd involved early.
Huge return to start the game, and that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you make plays right off the bat.
Braylon Tate with a return of 49 yards, and now the highest scoring offense in the land, all set up by this return from Tate.
Yeah, Tate was able to find the lane and get down the field effectively, and he was tackled early enough, but still able to gain more yards.
An offense coming in, averaging 50 points per game. Are you kidding me? Top in all of college football, and the main orchestrator will go to the air right away. Matocha hits Flynn Sheely down the far sideline. First down gain as the Harlan Hill winner from a year ago. That is the Heisman equivalent in Division II. He's a finalist again this year as well.
Matocha does a very good job looking one way and then coming the other. Sheely was wide open on that side. You have to guard the whole field against this ball club.
17 yards in the completion, and now they will go to the ground game with Noah Roper. Roper, the new addition, the transfer in from Dartmouth.
Yeah, Roper's a hard-running guy, physical player. He and Landon Walker really do a nice job of that combination in the running back. And Connor McKelson also is another guy that you'll see in the running back position as well.
So the big kick return, the completion to Sheely. Just like that, Mines in business. Matocha with all sorts of time. He'll take a shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Sheely. Take a bow.
Wow. And that was right over the top of one of the better defenders back there, Antoine Lloyd, number 3. He had a pick 6 last week. Thing is, Mines comes out, man, and they know how to attack you. You have to be prepared. Really nice job by Matocha of letting this play develop. You can see the deep over route, and when you have guy trailing like that, you know as a receiver, catch the ball, secure the ball, score the ball.
So that did not take long. Not even 90 seconds into this one. Mines goes 50 yards. Matoka with his 40th touchdown pass of the season. And a big start here on their home turf. Colorado School of Mines. Nobody has thrown more touchdowns than John Matoka. He starts off the semifinals with a bang. Little bit of history to start this one. Colorado School of Mines off to a quick 7-0 lead. John Matoka with the touchdown pass. His 159th touchdown pass of his career. That now puts him into a tie all-time with Shepherd's Tyson Bagent. Bagent with his remarkable career, and remarkable, Charles, would be the word to describe John Matoka in his time here in Golden.
Man, he has just played so well, and you saw the picture in the opening when you see him all throughout the game. These guys, they play hard, they study hard, but they have fun off the field. Those are things that they've taken those pictures to another level, and I think it just shows a different side of them. But when they step between these white lines, man, you better be ready to handle it.
Couple of dangerous return men deep down for the Golden Bears, but they will not have an opportunity as Hunter Pearson sends it through the end zone for the touchback. So this is not what Kutztown wanted. A long way from home. They give up the quick touchdown following the explosive return, and now an old school offense gets ready to go to work, engineered by Judd Novak, the redshirt freshman. Took over the starting reins back in week 2 on the road at California, PA, and all he has done is win football games. Over 2,000 passing yards this senior. This redshirt freshman out of Manheim, Pennsylvania. They start at the 25. And he will throw the slant behind his intended target. There is a number change. Curtis Ravenel, the top receiver for Kutztown, he has changed his uniform to 16 today.
Yeah, he had a little snafu. Didn't bring the number 2 with him, but he's 16 today. I watched him in warm-ups, really ready to play, and you can't have those passes behind you. The other thing with this defense, you get behind the chains, that's one thing, but they turn you over as well. You have to protect the football against this Mines defense.
They load the box. Novak will try to soften it. Quick throw to Mekhi Gibson, who makes the catch. Gibson pushed out of bounds, a gain of 6 up to the 31.
Luke Szabo out there blocking, but took a lot of that from Zimmerman. Jackson Zimmerman, a young man that's really started to step up for this defense, number 29. Really, really good player in that secondary. We may be calling his name quite a bit.
Some big shoes to fill in the secondary when you talk about Zimmerman replacing the All-American Mason Pierce.
6 INTs on the year, 8 pass breakups, always around the football. Doesn't mind sticking his nose in the run game either.
Couple of tight ends. Golden Bears, middle of the pack in the PSAC on third downs. They will roll Novak. Pressure comes. He'll float. 50-50 ball nearly caught. Boy, what an effort.
That should have been a pass interference. Logan Rayburn may have gotten away with one. And Curtis Ravenel does this outstanding job of going up to get the ball. Then you see the pull of the jersey. Now they're both battling each other, and that might be why the official decided not to pull it. But Ravenel almost came up with the catch.
Tremendous effort by Ravenel, and Jim Clements watches his offense go 3 and out.
Well, you can see they're going to try to take Ravenel away. They had a high-low on him, and still trying. Judd Novak almost completed that.
Nate Millard, one of the best punters in the country. This is Connor Mickelson, and he cannot shake free. Stopped right there in his tracks at the 32-yard line.
If you are Kutztown, you want to make sure you don't get too far in the hole. This Mines team, when they get going, Sean, we watched them on tape and just talking to them and watching them on film all year long. They put up some big numbers. You don't want to be on the other side of that, and you have to stop them before they really get rolling.
Touchdown pass on the last drive now puts him atop, sharing that mark with the great Tyson Bajan, who we saw earlier this year get some reps with the Bears. Hot hand early has been Flynn Sheely, his third catch of the day as he takes it ahead for 4, brought down by Anton Lloyd.
You know, the one thing that Matoka will do, he gets the ball out quick, and once he finds someone and they have found the area where they want to attack right now, Lloyd is playing off, so they're going to keep going there until he steps up. Now you see Max McLeod come over in the slot, number 3 there, so you have to watch both of those guys now.
Matoka back to the air, dodging defenders. Now a little unorthodox shovel up ahead, and he finds his tight end, Blake Smotherman. How's that for creativity?
He does this really well. He's always looking to pass the football. He doesn't mind running it, but he would much rather to get it out to his receivers. Good blocking. You got to find a way if you're this Golden Bears defensive line. You see that he just flips it over to him. You have to find ways to get penetration and pressure on Matoka to force him off his mark. No, not many teams have been able to do it, but if you're going to upset this Mines team, that's what you have to do.
They'll try the ground game over that left side. It's tough to run on this Golden Bear defense. That is one of the strengths of this team. And when we talked to defensive coordinator Eric Fargo, they had a lot of new faces up front, a couple of veterans, but they've had a young freshman step in, and Freddie Redder to really button down the hatch.
They only give up 101 rushing yards, which is right at 26 in the Division II, but then you have another team on the other side that only gives up 61. That's the Mines defense. So both stingy defenses on the ground.
What do they say? Defense wins championship. All 4 remaining teams in the top 15 in scoring D. Boy, Matoka pulls a Houdini, gets out of trouble, and then throws a strike to Nick Stone at the 42. We are seeing some of the best from John Matoka early on.
He should have been sacked in the backfield. You should be celebrating. Great job by getting penetration. Earl Volz just missed him. And then Matoka finds a way. He just gets out of there. He doesn't. The thing that I like about him, he never panics. He stays calm, and then he'll just find a way and get back on schedule for him as a quarterback.
That's the demeanor they talked about this week in the meetings. He's one of those guys that teammates just kind of rally around. He's so naturally gifted as a leader of this team, very easygoing and relaxed, and you see that when he's under duress.
Well, when he's under duress, and also a guy that he's played with for a number of years. They came in together. You think about Levi Johnson, the big left tackle, right tackle, excuse me, who's got a lot of attention from pro scouts as well. They have their roommates in this. The offensive line plays well. They all want to help Matoka be successful.
Boy, Matoka has hit his first 7 passes, and they are making it look easy on the offensive end. Nick Stone with his second catch, and the Golden Bears really reeling right now.
Yeah, you know, talking to the coaches, especially on the offensive side, Tim Brandon just said something that was interesting. We try to get guys looks, and we try to get them opportunities, but when Matoka's rolling, he seems to find whoever the open guy is. They do a lot of formational things, and you have to guard against a lot of things with this quarterback and this offense.
Empty set, 5 receivers, design draw. He did a lot of this last week in the win against Central Washington.
Yeah. Jalen DeVos with a really nice tackle. He's been playing pretty well, getting an opportunity to play more along with Weary and Wolf.
If you're Kutztown here, Charles, what are you looking for defensively to try to slow down this juggernaut that they've witnessed?
Take advantage of opportunities. When you have that sack opportunity, you have to capitalize. When you get hands on any football here, you've got to make sure you turn them over.
Roper is the running back, and he will go right up the gut behind the center and right guard. Looks like about a half a yard shy of the first down.
And I think that's the other thing. If you can find a way to force a fumble or anything in this area of the field, because this is where this team goes into overdrive. They are really effective in the red zone, and this is a good red zone defense.
They were really good last week in the win against Slippery Rock. 3rd and short, the jumbo package in, and it will be a first down carry for Noah Roper as he slid through a little crevice, and they are inside the red zone. Mines looking sharp in this first quarter.
Yeah, they have They are going to have to find any way they can to stop this Mines team from scoring a touchdown, maybe come out with the field goal here. This drive has been methodical, and it's just been consistent of what I've seen from Mines over the last few weeks.
Toka started this game 7 for 7. He'll try to add to that. Has a clean pocket. Throws near the side. Caught again. Right on the button to the tight end, Blake Smotherman, who entering today had only 4 catches all season.
Yeah, look, you're giving him time, and now he has a drag route coming across the field, and he's able to find him on that other side where there's no defense, and he's able to catch that and almost get a first down.
Second and a yard. They bring a blitz off the edge. They run the opposite way, and another first down carry. It's Roper again, and Mines will have it, first and goal.
They have just done a really nice job again on this drive. This offensive line, you can't say enough about them. All those guys, they've got some 6-year seniors, and they've really done a nice job leaning on this defense.
They go up tempo. They go with the slant, and the first incomplete pass of the afternoon. Good job there by Lloyd as he got a hand in to break it up.
Yeah, Lloyd played that very well. You know, and Sean, we talked about this before. It doesn't matter how far these guys get back. And I talked to Jim Clements about that, the head coach. He said, we are going to battle. He said, it may not always be pretty, but we're going to keep fighting. And they did that a couple of weeks ago. And anytime you see them in harm's way, they seem to get better as a team.
Keep an eye on McLeod, number 3. He's at the bottom of the screen. They go the opposite way. Swing it to Roper, trying to will his way toward the front of the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. C.J. Brown lost his lid. Roper across, and Mines comes out storming in this first quarter.
Really nice play design also of getting the guy out in open space who can run and very effective catch the football in a spot where he has blockers in front of him. And then he's able to walk that in pretty easily. That was a really nice job of getting the ball out. Landon Walker with a nice block out there, and the receiver as well.
A little more than 6 minutes off the game clock. 12 plays, 64 yards. Pearson with the point after. And number 1 Mines. And this offense putting on a show early. Matoka with a couple of touchdown passes. The new addition this year, Noah Roper, finds 6 for the Oredigers. Quick start for John Matoka and Mines. 14-0 last week in the quarterfinal win against Central Washington. Matoka did not throw a touchdown pass. He had a consecutive game streak. 42 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. That came to an end. Well, he has put that in the rearview mirror. A couple of first quarter strikes, and with those 2 touchdown passes, a new Division II all-time record, 160 career touchdown throws with a senior from Magnolia, Texas.
A lot of Texas kids. Remember, the Denver area, their recruiting footprint is Denver, Houston, Dallas. You know, they really get down in that area pretty well. Being a Houstonian, I know the area well, and I can understand why they would go down there and get some of that good football talent.
Sincere Thomas from inside his 10. He will try to change direction, and he is tripped up. Excellent special teams and play made. Flying downfield first was Josh Krause.
Yeah. The way you get games to flip or in special teams, or you defensively, you have some field position flip or turnovers. If you're offense, you've got to find a way to run against this defense, which is very salty. 61 yards that people average against them. And then they only give up 11 points per game. So you got to find ways to keep these chains moving and turn that around.
See what the Golden Bears do here. They came out throwing on their opening drive. See if they go back to the ground game, and they will, and there is nothing cooking for Darrell Davis McNeil.
Yeah, then the other thing is maybe some jet sweep and some other things to get outside, to get on the edge against these guys, because if you're going to have success, it's not up the middle. Kyle Banshee and Zach Hester and Jack Peterson on the interior, and then you get that linebacking crew of Reed, Healy, and Marino. They just do a nice job of running and run fits effectively.
Play clock approaching 5. Judd Novak to throw. They bring a blitz. Novak flushed, running for his life. He's going to tuck and just pick up anything he can. He is a good runner, and that's what he's brought to the offense this year. And it's a difference from what they've seen in previous seasons.
Yeah, they need that because when you have pressure coming, especially from those linebackers, he can see that. And when he sees that flash of jersey coming at him, in particular that time, Ben Fuchs able to come and see 43 coming, and he gets out of harm's way. I think those are critical times for Judd Novak to kind of keep these chains moving and not give up a sack.
Came up empty earlier in this quarter on 3rd down. Manageable one here, 3rd and 4. They love the quarterback draw, and that's what they're going to do. And nice moves here by Novak, and that is all Judd Novak at the point of attack, able to sidestep a defender in the first down, and something positive for Kutztown.
Sean, you've seen it in games like I have. If you can stack first downs, this is really critical. That offensive line does a nice job getting up to the 2nd level. But Judd Novak effectively running against a defense that doesn't give up a lot of yards on the ground.
4th-year offensive coordinator Marcel Quarterman, 10th year as an assistant. He's a Philly native.
Talked a lot about the run game being critical, but also quick passing game, RPO, trying to stay ahead of the chains is what they need to do in order to win today.
Davis McNeil in motion. They go right back with Novak as he stretches ahead up near the 35. They'll mark him at the 34, gain of 5.
Situational football, good football, 5 yards on one play. Get as many yards as you can. And I also think this too, and this is for anyone that plays football. You can't look at that scoreboard. You just got to say, okay, what can we do right now on this next play to make ourselves get in position so we can have a chance at the end of this ball game.
And this is an offense all year that doesn't hit a lot of big explosive plays. They're going to get 4 or 5 yards a crack, and they can't change that up even though they're in the early hole that they are. Quick throw, far sideline, one-on-one coverage, and the catch is made. Oh, what a grab by Ravenel Jr., the first team all-PSAC.
He almost made that other one on that other drive, but that is a hard catch. I'll tell you why. The sun is right in his eyes, but he's still able to go up and climb the ladder, and look what he does very effectively. Last minute, put your hands up and go attack the football. Now, Jackson Zimmerman almost pulls it away, but Ravenel with the strong hands, great job on that particular pass and catch.
24 yards to Ravenel, the team's top receiver, his 52nd catch of the season.
Is he going to change his number? Now he made a big play.
He might be stuck with 16.
Yeah.
Leave that number 2 behind. On the plus side for the first time. Novak a play fake. Wanted to go deep. Nothing open, and now he'll just throw it away as Zach Hester closed in.
Good defense by Mines of not letting him have any place to throw the football. This is a good drive for Kutztown. They have found some things now they're trying to exploit against Mines, and I think they're doing it effectively. The one thing is protect the football. Protect the football. I just say that because when you go against a team that's plus 21 in the turnover margin, this is where they start thinking, we're going to stop this drive by turning the ball over.
Keep in mind, this drive started all the way back at the Golden Bear 14. Gibson goes in motion. They go right up the middle with it. Davis McNeil with a first down gallop as he picks up 10 up to the 32.
They're getting their rhythm now, and also when he runs effectively, he's going to run over or run through someone and get to that 2nd and 3rd level. Good blocking on that interior by the offensive line, but when he goes low like that, he's going to run and fall forward and get those first downs.
He is a downhill runner. He got dinged up late in the game last week, but they handled him really gingerly this week in practice like a veteran.
I was shocked that he was even able to practice after watching him go down, but he is so tough and physical in the run game.
Closing in on back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns. Good-looking drive here for the Golden Bears, and they go right back to that draw, straight up the middle, and Novak not going down. He was bear hugged by Kyle Bonson, and Novak just kept those legs churning.
Kyle Bonson had him, and you think he's going to bring him down, and Novak just keeps the legs moving. The other thing is, when they run that play, they use Davis McNeil to be a lead blocker, and he's effective. But Bonson was like, no, I'm trying to stop you from getting all these yards. We don't give up yards here.
What a good-looking drive for Judd Novak. Keep in mind, he kept the drive alive on the third down run.
It's typical of how they play. When you watch them play all year after starting 0-2, this is why they've been on that winning streak.
That's Sincere Thomas who goes in motion, and we have a stoppage in the game's first penalty flag. They got the snap off in time.
Delay game.
Sometimes when you have a lot of shift, motion, and different things like that, or personnel groupings that have to come in, you have to speed that up in a game like this or any game so you don't have those penalties that hurt you. That 5 yards, you can't lose. These are critical yards in this kind of game.
It's a Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletic Association officiating crew with John Adams. Keep in mind, there is instant review here, replay, part of these Division II semifinals. Second down and 10 after the penalty. Throwing, post route, double coverage, and it's intercepted in the front of the end zone by Colin Romero. Novak would love to have that decision back.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. You cannot afford any turnovers, and that was a bad interception by Novak. I think he wants that back because he thought he had his receiver going across the middle. Once he lets the ball go, you know Romero, if he just makes the catch, that turns it over for School of Mines.
32nd takeaway by Mines in this defense. Romero with his first pick of the year. Mines with a 14-0 lead late in this first quarter. It looked like Kutztown had something cooking on this last drive, but this defense, like they have so many times this year, coming away with the takeaway.
Yeah, whenever they feel like they're threatened, this is what they do. And that's just not a good pass by Novak. He's going to Ravenel, but you cannot overthrow or make a mistake like that. You have to continue to hold the ball because look at this defense. They don't give up points. They don't give up rushing yards. They take you away. I talked about that. If you get 30 or more, that's usually a good sign. They're 32 on the year.
Your Diggers bring in an extra offensive lineman. That's Cole Johnson as they line him up on that left side and falling ahead for a couple on first down. Good look at Pete Sturbick, his first year, son of a high school coach, grew up in the Midwest, Bennington, Nebraska, moved around Glenwood, Iowa, ended up at Des Moines Lincoln during his high school days. He was a wide receiver for Augustana College, and what a job he has done in his first season.
Barbecue aficionado, too. We talked about some good places down in Dallas. He says he hates losing that as his recruiting area because now he's a head coach, but he gave me some great recommendations.
So we're hooked up for next weekend. Flag is thrown. Matoka comes back over the middle. Pass is caught, but there is a flag down in the vicinity of a hold.
Yeah, that's coming back. Offensive lineman. And they'll tell you, too, still petty.
Offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, still Levi Johnson, the right tackle, excuse me, who was a Gene Upshaw winner, which is the best offensive lineman. You can see there when he's trying to disengage the defender, you have to let him go, and Levi holds on to him. Now, Levi might get some opportunities at the next level. He has picked up weight very well. 230 pounds that he came in. It's 290. And area scouts know these D2 schools. They know all the other schools. If you play football, they know who you are. He's got a real good opportunity maybe to play at the next level.
1 quarter in the books in the march to McKinney, Texas, and a date in the national championship next week. Matoka with the touchdown pass to Sheely. This defense, nobody's been better in the country in taking the football away. They've added one more through 15 minutes. It has been a year of firsts when you look at it for the Golden Bears. A tough start here on the road, but what a year it has been. Plowing their way all the way into the semifinals for the first time in program history. Jim Clements, and year number 9 consecutive winning seasons for him. Their 6th NCAA championship appearance, 6-5 in the playoffs, and we talked about it. 5 ranked wins, that's a program record. Program record first appearance into these NCAA semis. What a job he has done. And you know, it's a recruiting hotbed when you look at the state of Pennsylvania. Plus he's been able to expand to Delaware and New Jersey, Maryland. Good thing cooking. Pressure, and they finally get to Matoka back inside the 10. They've been close, and for the first time, they track him down.
Well, you've been waiting on that. Freddie Redder is a guy that gets after the quarterback. 3.5 sacks on the year, but this time Freddie doesn't let it go. He gets there and makes sure Matoka goes down. And the one thing you're going to see is an opportunity with violent hands up front with their 3 down, and that was a good job right there.
This defensive line lost a couple of all-conference players to graduation. Then one of their stars from a year ago, Italiano, tore his ACL. So they have relied on some youth, and this will set up the first punt of the day. As Mines is unable to get anything going, Lee Coleman, the backup corner, in on the stop. 28, the sophomore out of Salem, talking about New Jersey, one of those guys they brought in.
Yeah, I mean, they just done a really nice job of recruiting and getting better. And that's one of the reasons why they have been able to play so well this year.
Take a look at that average for Dowd punting the football this year. 46 yards a punt.
And there's not a lot of wind today. There sometimes can be.
Couple of return men back. He will keep it away from both of them. This will take a nice friendly Marv K Stadium roll, and it's touched dead at the 33-yard line. 58-yard punt. Good job like he has done all year from Mr. Dow.
That was a nice punt. You didn't think so at first, but then it took the bounce that it needed to have. You know, I just look at my board and I think about Trip Thomas and competing unapologetically. You know, and this group of students here, they are, you know, football players. They don't mind being called nerds either. You know, they got some guys on their defense that embrace that on offense as well. They play with a high level of relentlessness and passion.
Third offensive series of the day for the Golden Bears, and they will run the football into a pile. Adrian Moreno, one of the top tacklers in on the stop.
Yeah, I'm talking to Marcel Quarterman. He also talked about being able to do things with his quarterback. Now, if you get ahead of the chains like they are here, it gives you opportunities to do different things. And you see Trip Thomas there trying to take away those things. He talked about Simon Sinek. He said the why. I said, oh, okay. You're dropping a little knowledge on those guys.
It was a lot of fun to talk to. We asked him about the violent approach they have defensively, the tenacity that they play with, and he says these guys are all bottled up in classes all week. By the time they hit the football field, they're ready to let out some steam, and this was a drop there. Dangerous play. Kutztown. Mines ended up on top of it. That was Jaden Healy, but it was a forward pass, so just goes as an incompletion.
Yeah, Makai Gibson had an opportunity, couldn't come away with it. Had a good group of guys in front of him blocking for him, but just couldn't hold on to the football. Took his eyes at the last second. Yeah, you saw it too, right?
A little too quick. Freshman getting his first taste of the postseason.
6 touchdowns on the year by him. He's an explosive young player. They really like his game.
Here comes the blitz. Novak in trouble, and he's dropped back at the 15.
Nolan Reed.
Mr. Sack himself. Nobody has more sacks among active players than Reed. 42.5 now in his career.
Man, he was able to just get on the outside by Adam Conklin. Conklin couldn't get to him. He is so quick off the edge. That gives him 42.5 on the season, on his career. And 10 on the year for him.
What were we just talking about? Tenacity, and that is what Trip Thomas described Nolan Reeve when we talked about what separates him from the pack. He says he is relentless with tenacity. The active leader in college football with sacks adds one more. Mines pitching the shutout. Mines in this offense gets a lot of glitter, and rightfully so, because of the numbers that they put up. But very quietly, this defense has become one of the best in college football, especially against the run. Take a look at what they've done the last 3 games. Fort Lewis minus 33, and then in the playoffs with both Augustana and Central Washington, a stout defensive front line and some very athletic linebackers.
And their one-on-ones against their offense and defense makes them each better, and I think that's why they're so effective on both sides of the ball.
Noah Roper gets 3, brought down by Cam Wolf. First time we've talked about the senior from Reading, Pennsylvania. Both he and Tyler Weary, 2 veteran linebackers. Weary, a graduate student pursuing his MBA. 83 tackles this year, one of the vocal leaders of this defense.
Both swag and shoe guys also. You got shoe game out the wazoo.
Empty set, they move the pocket. Matoka throws a strike, near side. Billy Pospisil, his first catch in a few games. They haven't looked his way. The second year, coming back from a serious injury a year ago, transferred in from Washington State.
Yeah, they have so many different weapons that sometimes guys can get forgotten. But Pospisil has had a really nice season, just hasn't had as many opportunities.
Only played 4 games last year. Had his initial season here in Golden cut short because of injuries. Matoka gets rid of it just as he was hit. He finds Flynn Sheely. Sheely, who has a touchdown catch in this one, takes it on to the Bears side to the 46, brought down by Kyrie Butler.
Sheely has been the guy that he's been looking for consistently, and Matoka, again, when you think you have him, you've got to ensure that you cover the receivers, because he is going to find every opportunity to get out of harm's way and get the ball to one of his weapons.
And they bring in that extra lineman along with the big tight end, Preston Rose. There's a lot of strength to that side of the field. Arm strength there from Matoka as he whipped it out. Little receiver screen. This will be very close to a first down. They're going to say move the sticks. Wolf the tackle. Catch made by McLeod.
There's been a lot of games played together by some of these 5th and 6th year seniors also. That's been the key. After last year not winning the championship, they wanted another run at it. And I don't think they say it consistently or talk about it, but they feel like they need to get back there. And I think this is the group and the core nucleus of guys that have done such a good job for this program.
Yeah, that was a hunger that certainly drove them this offseason. They bring Wary off the edge on a blitz. Great job by Roper picking him up. Throw underneath on the drag route is caught but smothered immediately. Jalen DeVos again.
Yeah, Zach Hoffman, there's a flag on the play. I know maybe someone injured player now.
That's DeVos who was in on that last tackle. He is slow to get up, so here comes the medical staff to attend to the senior from Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
Mines run some tempo. Yeah, he's up. He was shaken up just a little bit.
We'll take a quick break. Back with more from Golden after these words. One of the most scenic backdrops college football right here in Golden, Colorado. 10:13 to go in the second quarter. Mount Zion, the Big M, they're going to light that up in a little bit up there, and that signals Colorado School of Mines. And what a job they have done. You see the overflow crowd here, the big Christmas parade in downtown Golden earlier today. You talk about a festive atmosphere, and then you get this passionate fan base. They had finals earlier today, so all the students made the way down the hill A lot of stress to relieve on this Saturday afternoon as we move into the evening, and they are jam-packed wherever they can get a good look at this top-ranked team in the land.
Yeah, high academic standards here, and you know, all of those folks, after they finish their finals, they're ready to celebrate and party. Hopefully the Mines for them can win, but Kutztown has a different thing in mind as well.
Jalen DeVos able to walk off in his own power. 2nd down and 8. Matoka is tripped up as he is sacked. A loss of a yard on the play. Good job that time by Cam Wolf. We were talking about these linebackers.
Yeah, you have to, when you blitz or you come off the edge, you have to make sure when you come back and you get after the quarterback, you secure him. Cam Wolf does a nice job. Swiss Army knife kind of player. Very versatile in all the things that he can do, and he shows you rush and then make sure you secure the tackle.
Yeah, they can put him in a lot of different positions, linebacker, safety. Matoka spreading the football today. Safety blitz, back foot throw near the side, and it's off the fingertips. A rare drop for Max McLeod. Oyame Adoga with the coverage.
Very rare. I have not seen one drop by this kid, this young man, watching film on him. He is usually a secure catcher. That's one hard thing, though, when you're catching and you're going to the sideline and just securing that ball. You could tell he couldn't quite pull it in.
Would have been good enough for the 1st down. Instead, they send out Dowd. He will try to pin Kutztown deep. Lloyd gets away from the ball. Special teams unit down there, and they could not reel it in. The ball side skipping all over, and it will go for the touchback. Hey, don't forget the NCAA championship coverage continues next weekend with the D2 championship game next Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. A new champion, Charles, going to be crowned this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. And you and I have a chance to call the semifinal and the final, so we'll be able to be a part of that experience.
Harding earlier today really put it on Lenore Ryan, 55-14. The boys from Searcy, Arkansas, they move into the championship next weekend, and who will it be? Mines or Kutztown, and this defense for Mines trying to prove that it's going to be them. Nowhere to go for Davis McNeil, and this offense has been quiet so far for the Golden Bears.
They showed a little bit of something, but then not able to. That interception was not good. The first drive wasn't. And each time you think they're going to start getting things going, Mines shuts them down.
It seems like when they've been at their best, and that was that 2nd drive, it was the running ability of Novak which softened up the Ordigger defense.
Yeah, you're going to have to get him involved in the run game as much as possible.
6 up on the line of scrimmage. They rush 4. They swing it out. Making the catch is Thomas. This guy is quick, and he will pick up the 1st down out past the 30, escorted out by Jaden Healy.
He's really strong in the return game, so what you want to do is get him in space. And as soon as Sincere Thomas catches the ball, if you block, which you see those 2 receivers out there doing, that gives him a chance to get down the field.
Thomas, a guy who did not play high school football, had no games his junior year because of COVID. His senior year was a critical one for him to really build a lot of film because he was labeled too small to play at the next level. Well, he's proven those doubters wrong this year. Little option look here as Novak tries to escape to the boundary side. Good pursuit. Ben Fuchs, who for the 2nd straight week is starting at weak side linebacker for the injured Hayden Gregg. They hope to get Gregg back next week if they advance.
Yeah, Fuchs has done a really nice job the last few weeks of playing well. Hayden Gregg is a guy that you want to have in with his 36 tackles on the year, but the good thing for them is they have depth there. You see Marcel Quarterman, offensive coordinator, really trying to get this offense going, get guys to understand what they need to do. Tight end, you got 2 tight ends now. They go 12 personnel with 87 and 41. They may have to take a timeout. There's
Mines was allowed to get their substitution onto the field, but the late addition of the tight end as they try to stretch it with speed. And a good job defending there. Nowhere to go. That was Ibi Alfred Ibakwe, senior from Nigeria, coming back from not one but two Achilles injuries.
And he has been incredible to hear the story of how he had to come back from both of those injuries. Just the work ethic and the determination to fight through those Achilles injuries. But again, you're in 3rd and long. How do you dial up something to keep the drive alive?
Novak gets rid of it quick. Tunnel screen action and working hard, trying to will his way up to the first down marker, but they're going to be a yard shy. Tough run there by Ravenel, and now an early decision if you're Jim Clements in this offense. A long way from home against an explosive offense, down 14. Do you dare go for it here?
It looks like they're keeping their offense on the field right now. And Ravenel with a very good effort to put them in position to even try this now. You're going to go big personnel, jumbo, and try to bully your way to this first down.
Big play late in this first half. 4th and a yard. Play clock down to 1, and they're going to have to use a timeout to avoid the penalty. Timeout in the action. Mines with 14 first quarter points. Still pitching the shutout here in Golden. Colorado School of Mines, the national runner-up from a year ago, 14-0, 5:25 to go here in this second quarter. Piles of snow, the fans in a sellout overflow crowd, and a big play coming up after the timeout. And it looks like Jim Clements has thought long and hard, and he's changed his mind as he has sent out the punter, Nate Millard. Do you like this call? Your Kutztown, Charles.
Yeah, I do. I think if they were a little bit closer, they just don't want to get too far in the hole. But you got to cover.
Yeah, this could wipe that out if Mickelson could break one, and he is tackled at the 34-yard line. Some late pushing and shoving. So here comes this offense, and John Matoka, the Harlan Hill winner from a year ago, one of the front runners this season. He has a tremendous arm, but how about his feet?
Yeah, look how he keeps moving forward and then gets the feet in position to get the ball out of there. He's reading, he's not panicked, and then get his feet in position to throw the football. Again, when he's running, it's tough to stop him, but this is a real nice job of staying alive and then getting your feet in position to throw the football effectively.
These receivers have learned you never give up on a play. His eyes always dialed in, locked in, downfield. Throws to Max McLeod, who makes the catch, and then he is hit hard from the backside. Avoid the coverage. Coleman hit him as well, a gain of 2.
Sean, the one thing that this Golden Bears defense has done really well, not allowed a lot of yards after catch, because that's where they beat you. Sometimes short throws become very long runs, and they've also not allowed them to take the top off. You have to guard against that with this offense.
Saw Matoka's numbers, a lot of that damage done behind the quick start. 4 Mines in the first quarter. 3-man rush. Again, that quick throw. Catches made. Sheely, just as you were describing, good job there. Tackling, not allowing anything after the catch. Brandon Heil, who's had a career year, went from 10 snaps a game a season ago to being one of the regulars at linebacker.
Yeah, he is another guy that really flies around the football. He and Jalen DeVos rotate a little bit at that position, but you don't lose much production with either one of those guys in there. Hiles with 82 tackles coming into today's ball game. DeVos 50 on the year.
Landon Walker into the game, and he will get the call, the Rocky Mountain Freshman of the Year a season ago, and he is not going to get anywhere close His defense standing tall. Brandon Heil, the first one to greet him.
You got to be happy if you're Eric Fargo. This is another win for you against an offense that was starting to click. And maybe your defense keeps you in it so your offense can try to find a way with 3:40, 3:39 left to get some points. That was really nice defense. And again, those two catches that usually come for big yards, they secured those guys, didn't give up huge chunk plays.
They come after the punt. Dowd gets it away, kicking it away from Anton Lloyd, and this will make its way to the far sideline out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark it. It's like at the 26-yard line. So with 2 timeouts, the Golden Bears in this offense, which has really had a tough time finding traction. Just the 4 first downs so far, and a team that relies on the rushing attack so far, just the 24 yards.
But I would say they have to feel secure and comfortable that they're not too far in the hole. They're just 2 scores down, and their defense is starting to play well. If you're Mines, you got to find a way now to stop them from getting any of that momentum that they are trying to seize from you.
Novak, 4 of 9. He was picked off in the end zone earlier. Straight drop. Pressure comes. Rolls right. Throws across his body. Pass is caught up to the 41-yard line. 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Mekhi Gibson, one of those guys that just sits there, and he knows when Novak scrambles out, just sit in that little hole right there. Nice job of not running himself into harm's way, but catch the ball, turn up. I'm gonna tell you, these Golden Bears, man, they don't quit. So you got to put them away if you're this Mines team.
Yeah, this defense in this second quarter in particular, giving them some hope. Now the young freshman Novak trying to get some points late in this first half. Quarterback power right side. There goes Novak. Makes a cut to the 40. Novak another cut. Still on his feet, and he's going to take it to the house. 59 yards. Highlight run from Judd Novak.
I'm telling you, whenever they need a big play, it comes from different people. And I talked to Jim Clements before the game saying, hey, man, you guys get behind. You look like you're out of it. He said, Charles, we just find ways. Novak right there should have been stopped 3 or 4 times on that play and still got to the end zone. I mean, he has good blocking here up front, but this is where you got to make tackles. Missed tackle there, another missed tackle here, another one there. That's just determination and the desire to get to the end zone. And this defense is usually sure tackling. Jaden Williams missed one. There are a couple other guys that missed them. You cannot do that and give this team any hope.
And here you look at it, 2:28 to go, second quarter. Novak with the touchdown run. Great kick out by Adam Case, his all-conference guard.
Yeah, his guard, they pull there, and you can see, again, very good job of fighting people off and not just refusing to go down. Nate Sutter had a chance at him. Jaden Williams had a chance. The thing is that they go at that end of the line of scrimmage, and they finally found a run game, a run play that gave them a huge chunk play, and it was explosive against a defense that doesn't give up yards like that. When you're in playoff football, man, you look at the records, you look at teams, and you just say, okay, it becomes, you got to play to the end. When I watched them play Charleston, West Virginia, they should have lost that game. And Charleston, West Virginia started coasting. And I'm not saying Mines is doing that, but you got to put them away. This is your offensive chance now to score another point and make it a 2-point game.
Sixth rushing touchdown this year for Novak.
2-score game, making it 2-point, but 2-score. You knew what I meant.
We knew it. Millard puts the foot into it. Good deep kick, 4 yards, 5 yards into the end zone for the touchback for Tate. So Mines now leading by a touchdown. All 3 timeouts. Obviously time not a factor with this high-powered offense, but you talk about resilience, and that has been the word for the Golden Bears. They could have folded. It was a rough first quarter. The game started with a long kick return, 2 quick offensive touchdowns for the Ore Diggers, but there is no quit, as you talked about. from the boys from Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean, the more I watch film, I look at what is it that you do and how do you perform when the chips are against you, and this team doesn't quit.
Matoka continues with this quick passing attack. He sailed that one on McLeod.
My thought for mines is you can run against this defense, you need to run the football, because that puts you in a position where you can use clock, but you also can get your team back on the path that they need to.
It's 28 yards on the ground for Colorado School of Mines. Ropers carried the ball 6 times in this first half for 18 yards. On second down, they continue along the near side. Pass is caught by Sheely, pushed out of bounds by Justin Harris.
But it's hard when you have a young man like Matoka, who is what was 9 of 10 at one point in the game, who makes good decisions with the football. But you don't need a 3 and out here with a team that has already shown you they can score points and they're resilient. Don't let them think they can get back in this game.
5 wide, empty set, third down. 4-man rush picked up. Matoka will throw on the run, planted along the Mines sideline, and making the catch is Nick Stone. That'll move the sticks, a first down. Adoga in on the tackle.
A really good job by Matoka of getting out of the pressure and then stepping up and finding his receiver. And Stone knew he was going to get hit. The redshirt freshman fought, tried to get more than he needed for that first down.
7 different receivers targeted here in this first half by Matoka. They go over the middle, a rare time where they try to hit a slant. It goes for 6 up to the 46-yard line. Second catch of the day for Pospisil.
Pospisil is just one of those effective interior guys, along with McLeod now, who plays in the slot as well.
Keep in mind, Mines still with 3 timeouts, wide open downfield, making the catch, toe dragging and getting a foot in was Sheely.
Sheely may have had 1 foot out when he caught that ball. If they look at this just from the naked eye, I was looking right down at that area. Thought his left foot. Well, maybe he got it. He caught it before it went down. That was a good catch.
Looks like he got that right foot, that right toe in. Good job by Sheely. 6 catches in this first half for 69 yards. And you see how quickly Mines can move the football.
Yeah, they can.
Play fake, throw, again the sideline, again a catch, and again it's Sheely. What's working on these sidelines so well?
Well, they're finding that area in that cover 2 where that safety has to stay high, and the corner that's down is being held by everything on the outside. Now, they're going to look at this one. I think his foot was out of bounds. It was really close to the sideline. And remember, again, replay in the semifinals in D2, and I think he is upset that he was down, but you have to have video
the player
evidence that
out
it
of
was
bounds
clear.
on the previous play. The clock will start on the snap.
So they will go upstairs. Mines lined up, ready to go. So the catch stands, Sheely. And now they're going to stop it. I think Kutztown trying to get the attention of the official for this one to go upstairs.
Is under further review.
So there we go. They will go up and take a look at it. Terry Layton, our replay official, is going to get his first look, and you see the frustration from Pete Sturbeck. He wanted that snap off before they could take another look at it.
And it was interesting because we thought up here that they were going to stop it and take a look at it before it even took place. Look at that left foot. Now, it was called a catch on the field.
I think this is going to be our best view of it right here. That is close.
That is super close.
And like you mentioned, Charles, the ruling on the field is a catch. So from our vantage point, our angles, is there enough evidence to overturn the original call?
That is awful close.
Well, you look at this first half for Flynn Sheely, having a career year this year. He already has a couple of 100-yard games. If this catch sticks, he's already going to have 100 in this first half today. Young man who lost his senior year in high school because of COVID, West Lynn High School in Oregon, and there are a few Pacific Northwest players on this Mines roster, and Sheely is one of them.
He talked about the selectivity of their recruiting. Yeah, I think this is going to be overturned. They're taking a lot of time now, and it just looked like it was so hard to tell that foot get to the white. Took him a while to slow it down, and I agree with you. Sturbick wanted them to keep going fast.
Let's listen in. They have reached their decision.
After further review, the ruling on the field has been reversed. It was an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So wipe out the catch by Sheely.
To 1 minute 15, 1:15. The clock will start on the snap.
This gives the Golden Bear defense, I think, some time to regroup as well. That stoppage.
Well, they have found a hole in that secondary, especially with cover 2, and were able to attack that on multiple plays with Sheely.
So the ball goes back to the 32. 2-by-2 formation. That's now McLeod breaking it as he goes in motion left to right. 2nd down and 10. They run a stun up front. Little dump off. Pass is caught. The running back Roper tripped up just as it looked like he was hoping to kick it to another gear. A yard shy of the 1st down. Wolf the stop. Mines quickly lined up. They still have all 3 of their timeouts. 3rd and less than a yard. Matoka will keep it, faked an option pitch, and he will move it into the red zone and a 1st down.
Great ball skills there also, because he fooled everybody on the defense and able to get out wide and be contained.
4 diggers lined up, ready to go. Matoka looking for his 3rd touchdown of the day, and he has it. Front of the end zone, Sheely has number 2.
Sheely just going to work against Antoine Lloyd. And very nice throw by Matoka, where only Sheely can come up with it. He gets that ball out so quick. It makes it tough for a defender. But he puts it on him on that almost that back shoulder, and Lloyd has no time to turn around. Great job on that drive by Matoka and Sheely.
Who needs timeouts if you're Mines?
He put it on that left shoulder, and only where his guy could come up with the play.
75-yard drive. Dowd with the point after. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, look where he puts this. This is in the best possible position, and Lloyd has no time to turn around on it. The ball gets out quick. This is slow motion, folks, and look how quick the ball gets to him. Now, Matoka isn't a tall guy, but he is able to throw effectively to points, and you can see why he is so good. And that's Antoine Lloyd, who has 3 pick-6 in his career, a fumble recovery in his career, as a very, very good player. Had a great interception last week to turn the game around. He couldn't even get his head around on that.
Yeah, these are 2 experienced corners when you look at Lloyd and Harris, and Matoka in this first half, 22 of 26. He orchestrates a real impressive 2-minute offense, 75 yards, did not use any of their timeouts. And that is a big drive in this football game, because keep in mind, the Golden Bears are going to get the football first to start the second half.
That's where you hope, if you were Golden Bears, that you didn't give these guys opportunities like this.
What a first half for Flynn Sheely. 8 catches for 103 yards, a couple of touchdowns as well. They have so many weapons. Last week it was the running game that propelled them in the second half against Central Washington, and now in this first half, Shealy, the main target for Matoka, back to their more traditional air attack.
Well, and you're not in a quick strike team, Kutztown, but you better find a way to get some offense here. Don't turn the football over. Don't give them a chance to have a pick six, but find a way to get at least a field goal so you can make this a 21-10 game.
They have a strong leg in their kicker, Nate Millard, and with this thin air, these kickers and punters, Kutztown were excited for the opportunity to come out here and see what they can do in the air of Golden, Colorado.
Got here Thursday and had a chance to practice here and walk up and had some time here as well.
They will hand the ball off with the 2 timeouts. Surging ahead for maybe 2 is Davis McNeil. Reeve the tackle, and the Bears are going to let this clock wind down. 2nd down and 8. Novak, a quick throw, far side, minimal gain, and a late flag, and it looked like some late contact by Mines. So this will change things a little bit. 15 yards tacked on, lack of discipline,
which is uncharacteristic for him. Hasty there. And
ruling on the field is a completed catch. After the play, personal foul.
Unnecessary by Jackson Zimmerman. You don't have to throw him down there.
29.
That was Romero as well, the safety coming over. So 15 yards after Hasty had made the catch, and it looked like Kutztown was content to head to the locker room.
I don't know if they still have the what we would call the explosiveness to get this, but you now give them at least an opportunity to think they do.
So after the penalty, now at the 45-yard line. Novak looking for his running back. He'll just throw it away. They had everybody covered. 2 seconds to play. Davis McNeil looked like maybe they were looking to free him and get him out of bounds and at least give Millard a shot.
And it looked like Mines understood that and didn't get him any, let him have any of that.
Box. The ball made it past the line of scrimmage. 2nd down.
2 seconds now. And Mines has done a nice job of getting as far back as they can. Only bringing 2 or 3 rushers.
Final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. Novak trying to find a lane to step and throw. Hit as he threw it, and it won't make it down there as it falls incomplete. Healy hit him just as he let her fly, and that's how the first half will end. An entertaining half of football here from Golden today.
We've had the Mines offense. Mines has been really effective in showing what they can do offensively, and their defense has played really well. Let's see what happens in the second half.
Kutztown will get the ball to start the second half. Down 14 here on the road, the winner to McKinney, Texas. As we swing it down, Coach, you look back at this first half. Take us through your thoughts as you head into the break after that quick start, especially in the first quarter.
Yeah, great beginning and great ending, but we were real choppy in between, and obviously got to play a lot better. These guys are a good team, and they've shown that. So we just got to be more consistent on offense, help our defense out. We put them out there too quick a couple times.
Coach, on offense with Matoka being able to really get going effectively in that last part of the half, what is it about him that's so special?
Well, he's not 6'4", so when he can see, he's pretty dang effective. He's been able to scramble around and do some things, but when he's got vision, he's going to be tough to stop. And he did a great job working the boundary side, keeping us out of the sun, which was going to be, key on that because we misplayed some balls because of that earlier. So
many different weapons. We saw Flynn Shealy become his favorite target. Talk about that.
Yeah, if teams are going to take away Max, then we've got other guys to go to. Flynn's very capable and has been all year, and sometimes that comes and goes because teams think they can handle Max one-on-one. But they're doing a great job with Max, but that's opening up some of these other guys.
Coach, good luck in the second half.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
3 touchdown passes for Matoka, a couple of those to Shealy. Mines trying to get back into the finals for the 2nd straight year. Kutztown into the semis for the first time in program history. Diggers by 14 here at the break.
When LC puts on the headgear every Saturday morning, that is the moment when the day of football can start.
Could have never have dreamt that it would have become where we are today, where fans every week, that's what they wait for, to see which headgear he's going to put on.
I like Ohio State's speed and power, but I question their place kicker and their punter.
The headgear tradition started in 1996 at Ohio State. Herb Street was fairly new on the show, and Kirk's wife Allison had been an Ohio State cheerleader.
He thought I might have some kind of in to try to get Brutus his headgear.
They had to do some very high-level, tense negotiations.
I'm telling you, it took 3 or 4 different back and forths until finally they green-lighted Brutus.
I tell you one thing. Buckeyes!
Let's just examine the Brutus head. It's a head representing a nut, a two-tone nut.
I like the Buckeyes!
So it's ridiculous looking. You can't help but laugh.
Hey, 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 hey!
And when he sensed that that was an entertaining moment that resonated with fans across the sport, he embraced it, and it's become a beloved tradition.
Colorado in a big upset!
I remember him as a young kid watching College Game Day, and Lee Corso was on there putting on the headgear. He is College Game Day.
I feel like I've been watching Lee Corso do that since, I was in high school. The different antics he's used and mascots he's used has been pretty incredible.
Entire wolf costume, a purple cow!
Cow!
To this day, I still watch and anticipate to see what he's going to do.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Seeing him fire off the guns is pretty funny.
My favorite one, we're at Texas, and McConaughey starts wrestling the LSU Tiger head off of LC. There was a little trickle of blood.
Katy Perry was incredible. Like, she damn near broke my man's nose, taking the mascot head off of him.
I think that the best one might be the outtakes.
How can you pick against SMU?
Throwing out some words that might needed to be edited.
My favorite memories definitely include live animals.
We got a live duck loose on the set.
He's not afraid of gamecocks. He's not afraid of alligators. He's not afraid of dogs of any kind.
That dog is beautiful! That dog is ugly! Give me this thing here!
I think the best part is when Coach does the okey-doke, where he grabs one head, gets ready to put it on, and then he chucks it to the side and grabs the other one.
I'm going with Sweet Home Alabama.
Anytime I'm watching and you don't know, what he's going to pick up, that's all pretty exciting.
Penn State.
Give him that head. Does that mean you're going to go against your first love, Brutus?
Coach Corso is a maestro of the crowd. He can take them on a ride like not many people in the history of television can.
Corso with the duck.
He's always got something ready for the people, and to see him come out as Ben Franklin was just absolutely incredible.
I founded Penn. This is my school.
My best moment is when he picked Texas to win the national championship.
Tonight, they shocked the entire universe.
And all the other guys up there were totally against him.
I'm going with Texas Longhorns. Hook up, Texas!
And then we won. And I've praised Coach for that ever since.
There's a time with Bill Murray, we're at Death Valley at Florida State, and he comes up, Chief Osceola, and he's dancing. And Bill Murray sees that, and he picked Clemson, and he picks him up. WWE style. It's chaos everywhere.
Somebody that tried to copy that would be silly. There's only one person who can do that, Lee Corso.
I think he's been a great ambassador for college football and has brought some great perspective, but also brought laughs and fun to a game
We have to remember it's still supposed to be fun and supposed to be a game.
What he's provided to so many households, what he's provided to so many of us as coaches, he put a lot of fun in the game. I just can't thank him enough.
For Lee Corso to put on that headgear 400 times, it never gets old.
Roll Tide!
It's sincere, it's authentic, it's genuine, it embraces the fans, it embraces the tradition of what makes this sport unlike any other, and what makes Lee Corso a college football broadcaster, an icon that's unlike any other who's ever been involved with this sport.
And God bless the United States of America!
The fact that I've got a chance to sit next to you all these years and watch you do your thing and just learn from you, it just taught me so much about this industry, watching you perform and the way you did it.
There he is. The Kirk Herbstreit Show.
We love you so much. You're a piece of gold that we cherish every single week.
One more spot to be filled. Who will play for the championship, the NCAA Division II National Championship next weekend in McKinney, Texas? Harding rolling earlier today, 55-14, and right now Colorado School of Mines up 21-7. Harding into the championship for the first time in program history. Mines trying to get back there after losing to Ferris State a year ago. More from Golden after these words. A quick start for Mines in this national semifinal, and wouldn't you know it, the Harlan Hill finalists looking for a second straight Heisman equivalent in Division II got them rolling early.
Oh, man, when you have a guy that knows how to get the ball out quickly, his receivers want to catch it and take it to the house as quickly as they can. And I think this is Judd Novak at his best when he's able to run the football, has his blockers in front of him. The offensive line did a nice job. Look at the receivers and everyone else escorting him down the field. They need more of that. Mines understands that and is going to do everything they can to take it out of his hands and get it to this guy's hands. Matoka Dashili has been a big combination today.
Jim Clements joins us, and Coach, a slow start in that first quarter, but your guys showed some fight like they have this entire playoffs. Take us through the message in the locker room as you get ready for the second half.
Oh, we got to get back to Kutztown football. You know, fundamentals are going to carry us, and we've got to do a better job tackling. We've got to do a better job vicing on the quick game, and then taking care of that quarterback. We've had some opportunities to get him down, and he's really good and got out of a few things, and we've got to make sure we clean that up. And offensively, we got to get back to the run game. You know, we got to establish some type of run. I think we got some couple good looks that we like, and then we got to get Judd moving a little bit. And he's been great when he's running with the football, and I think we're going to be all right in the second half.
Coach, he does a really good job. Judd does. How do you get him even more involved in that so you can set up the pass with him?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have some things dialed up for him and a couple schemes that we liked, and then we got to have some things off of it. But I think where he got in trouble was just trying to scramble out, and we took that big sack and ended up losing like 20 yards on it. But he's a good player. He's young. He's excited. He's a competitor. He's excited to get out here with his teammates and give a great second half.
Coach, best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Halftime here in Golden, Colorado. Mines with a 2-touchdown lead. We'll kick off the second half when we come back. Alongside Charles Arbuckle, Sean Kinney, welcome you back to Golden, scenic Golden, Colorado. It's like a picture out of the Norman Rockwell collection. I mean, holy cow.
And pictures don't do it justice. I went upstairs and just took a video of the whole area, and I'm still blown away by it.
Just incredible scenery, foothills of the Rockies. Tiny little old mining town of Golden, Colorado, and they have been playing football a long time, but they haven't been playing this well and this consistent in the 100-plus years of Mines football tradition, and now they are a half away from punching their ticket back into the finals for the second straight year, but a long way to go, and we'll see what the Golden Bears can do all the way from Pennsylvania to start this second half, and you could see that Jim Clements was irritated. He thought some of the fundamentals that this football team relied on as they knocked off 4 straight ranked teams to get here weren't quite there in the first half.
Yeah, they didn't quite do the things necessary. Jaden Stewart is down. He was on the kick team or kick return team, and he was slow to get up, and I hope he's okay. But that was the one thing. He was upset with how some of the things they had and just didn't take advantage of all the opportunities that they thought they had. You'll see Jaden Stewart, 25, in the middle of your screen go down right by the numbers.
Took it on the wrong end there from Blake Ramsey, who was flying downfield with the coverage unit. Stewart's had a good year, the sophomore out of New Jersey. Backup running back. Keep in mind, this is an offense that's without one of their main runners in Jordan Davis. The last couple of years, that 1-2 punch of Davis, McNeil, and Davis, they have been 2 of the best in the PSAC, and he is out. We saw him, one of the captains, on a scooter here. He had successful surgery. You ran into him in the hotel.
We were in the hotel going down the elevator together, and I just asked him, hey, how you doing? I thought it was him, but I wasn't sure, and we got to talking a little bit. He said, yeah, slowly healing, but I'm coming back. And he was, good to talk to, and said, hey, man, get healthy. He said, thank you. Good young man. That's the thing when you talk to a lot of these kids that are playing that may not have an opportunity to play at the next level, but they've had a really nice college football career. That's the most exciting thing for me for those Division II, Division III players, guys that get a chance to still play football and get great educations.
First touch of the day on the first play of this second half, Trevor Amorum. He's a sophomore out of North Lehigh. Good gain on first down of 5 yards.
And don't get it twisted. They can still play good football. That was a good catch. Get outside and make some things happen. And I think this is what you need to have when you're coming out of half. Generally, the adjustments that you make are really critical. That first drive, what can we do and get some points out of that first drive is really critical.
Novak in the first half, 6 of 11 throwing the football for 65 yards. He also rushed for 65, including the long touchdown run, and he'll go to work here following his lead blocker. And in this case, it was Davis McKinley trying to pave a little lane.
56 was also out there, Adam Case, with a real nice block again. But he has the personal protector, and then he has another protector, and he has 2 guys that can help him get in open space. It's a numbers game when you have quarterback run. Really nice job, and I think they'll dial more of those up for Judd Novak in the second half.
The Novak family, big part of Kutztown history. His older brother Jake was part of some playoff football teams in the past. He had a sister Olivia who played soccer for the Golden Bears. Swings it out. Far sideline, passes hauled in by Mekhi Gibson, who immediately turned it upfield to the 46. Nolan Reeves shoved him out of bounds.
Yeah, and the great Andre Reed, who I got to see a couple times a year when I played with Indy, and he was with the Bills. Awesome, really spectacular receiver for that Buffalo Bills offense that got to the Super Bowl 4 times, couldn't quite win it, but they had some dominant players, and he was one of them.
Yeah, their stadium back home named after the great wideout, longtime NFL standout. Second down and short, design draw, then run, then throw. He had all 3 options right there for Mr. Novak.
And he ran right into Nolan Reed. Mekhi Gibson did. The young guy tried to make a move, and Nolan Reeves just said, no, I'm a beeline on you, I'm going to catch you, and I'm going to stop you. Puts him in 3rd and short.
Back-to-back plays made by Gibson, and both times he's run into Nolan Reeves.
Who is a very, very good player in his own right.
These are the situations where it's nice to have a big downhill runner like Darrell Davis McNeil. They give it to him, but he could not get any momentum built. Penetration right from the get-go by Mines.
Too many guys to count, but that interior defensive line was so solid at not letting them get any yards. That was a really nice play by Mines defense. Look at all those guys on the inside, just not letting anything happen. The first hand that gets back there is Peyton Rose, number 98, and then the rest of the guys show up as well.
The Rose brothers, we talked to defensive coordinator Trip Thomas about them. Peyton on the defensive side, Preston on the offensive side. Two hard-nosed brothers, identical twins. Fair catch signaled for by Mickelson. There's some late pushing and shoving away from the action.
Both of these teams know what's at stake and gets a little chippy.
39-yard punt. Mines will open up their first drive of the second half inside their 20-yard line. And it was a typical John Matocha first half of action. The more you watch him, the more you are impressed with what he has been able to accomplish throughout his career. And this was a first half where Pete Sturbick did not run the football a lot. They relied on that short passing game, and they put the offense in the keys with Matocha.
They really understand if he has the ball in his hands and he can see the field, this is what he can do.
They go right back to it. Hoffman coming back to the ball, makes the catch, tackled at the 21-yard line by C.J. Brown.
And it feels like they want to attack on the outside, and then they'll come in a little bit with some slants and some different things on the interior. But they found those edges that they're using and have been able to be effective today against Kutztown. The sun was a factor in the first half. It won't be a factor in the second half. That sun is going down at about 3:30. You can already see it going behind the mountains.
Empty set on second down. They will get it out to the 25-yard line. Making the catch out of the backfield is Noah Roper. Roper had a touchdown catch in the first half.
They have stayed in their quick game, really getting the ball out quickly. And I wouldn't be shocked if they start going to the ground game a little bit as well. Golden Bears defense needs a stop here to get this turn back around so they can get the ball back for their offense.
Heil and Wary, both linebackers come on a blitz, then that's the right read if you're Matocha. You saw those linebackers come, you throw to where they are, and another drop and a 3-and-out.
I have not seen McLeod drop one, not two, and that's just him. You got to secure the ball. I mean, Matocha's looking at him, has him. That's a first down for you. And it also gives this team a chance now, the Golden Bears, to get their offense back on the field.
Kutztown sets up the return, but they won't have an opportunity here. Look at this kick by Blake Dowd, one of the best in the country. Drives Kutztown deep inside their own 20. Special teams for the Ore Diggers. Early stages here in Golden, third quarter. It's V Week at ESPN when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is a game-changing research that helps save lives. Don't forget, you can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. Both of these teams, like everybody, impacted with family, friends, through cancer and the challenges that it brings. And this is always an important week for all of us, our family at ESPN. Golden Bears from their own 17, and there has been nowhere to run today for Darrell Davis McNeil.
Yeah, Jaden Healy there, Johnny on the spot. And when you have a team that makes adjustments to the run game, Healy comes off and just does a nice job of scraping, making sure that he gets to the running back and securing the tackle.
Loss of 3 back at the 15-yard line. Healy, the first-team All-Rocky Mountain player at his star position. 2-time All-Conference selection. Five-man front. They bring 4. Novak delivers a strike to the far side. Ravenel with the catch. Setting up a 3rd and 6 for the Golden Bears. Early stages of this third quarter.
They've had some success getting it to Ravenel and also Makai Gibson. But when you lose yardage on first down and then now you have a nice gain on second, you have opportunities. And this is one of the things I keep talking about, stacking those first downs until you can make a play and get into the end zone.
Gibson goes in motion, 2 receivers right, 2 left. They keep a spy in, Novak dodging, and he is sacked, brought down by Jack Peterson back inside the 10.
Jack Peterson better go over and thank Nolan Reeve for that sack, because Nolan Reeve was also there first. Watch 46 with the great rush, and then right into the arms of Jack Peterson. The violent hands that Reeve has and the ability to come off the edge so quickly, man, it is hard for anybody to stop him, and Adam Conklin had no chance to block him.
Peterson, one of the team captains, his 3rd sack of the year, raised in Fort Collins. Hunting from the end zone and just getting the kick away is Millard. Line drive, bouncing kick, and this one takes an angle out of bounds. 46 yards on the punt. Both defenses looking strong in the snow here in Golden. The NCAA championship coverage continues next weekend with the Division II championship game next Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. So some of the scenery here surrounding Golden, Colorado, elevated at 5,700 feet above sea level. Highest elevated location to host a D2 semi. Kutztown coming from 400 feet back home in Pennsylvania above sea level. And this defense, though, they have come to fight nowhere on first down. They are giving this team a chance a long way from home.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job, especially in that second quarter and in the second half of, you know, an offense that's so explosive that they score 50 or more every game. They're giving themselves a chance. Their offense just can't seem to get anything going.
Brayton Pullman, the junior, in on that last play. 2nd down and 10, split backs. They bring a blitz, picked up, getting rid of it, making the catch out of the backfield and falling ahead for good yardage is Connor Mickelson, who they primarily use in the return game.
Yeah, Connor Mickelson, he doesn't get a lot of touches in the run game. But really nice job there of catching the ball and getting close to that first down.
Just the 6th catch of the year for Mickelson, the sophomore from Geneva, Illinois. Big jumbo package comes in. The extra guard, extra tackle, the tight end rows all lined up to that left side. Wildcat with Landon Walker, and he will surge ahead for the first down. Walker, the freshman of the year a season ago as a hybrid. They used him as a running back, tight end, fullback. He can do it all.
And they really like him in this particular position when you have guys like Caleb Marlatt and Levi Johnson, and you see Still Petty on the inside being able to push that. He can easily get that first down.
Walker stays in the game as a running back. You know, you look at this story for Mines, and they're starting to get national attention last year into the finals for the first time in program history, and then what they've done this year in a state that has had a lot of news this year in college football. Pause that thought. Matoka double clutching, now comes near side, back to the ball. It is Shealy with the catch and a first down to the 37-yard line. But you look at what Prime was able to do early in the year in Boulder. Norvell at Colorado State. Air Force was unbeaten for a good chunk. Well, the best story of Colorado here in December come from tiny old Golden.
Well, and they also have done a nice job of attaching themselves with Air Force, so if some players don't end up going or students don't go to Air Force, they're able to get here. They understand how to work together with the schools in this state, but also getting really top talent outside of the state.
McLeod dropped, a loss of a yard. Drew Hinser just blowing up that play. First he shredded a blocker, and then he shredded Max McLeod.
Yeah, they've really done a nice job of not allowing McLeod or Shealy on those short throws to break big tackles, because when you watch them, that's what they normally do. Now, Shealy on that last play did a nice job of running down the field and coming back to the quarterback and allowing Matoka to find him for an open first down.
Inside 6 minutes to go, third quarter. Nothing's changed since half. They'll take a shot. Shealy juggles and catches at the 13. 26 yards. Glenn Shealy having himself a day.
Yeah, Shealy is saying, hey, Max McLeod, I know you taught me pretty well, but I'm going to show you I'm learning from one of the better ones. This is a nice job A throw to a bigger receiver. Go up and get it. And Shealy does a nice job of using his body and his hands. Look at him attack the ball and come down and hold on to it.
Yeah, Hinser was in a position to make the play. Matoka is going to keep it, and he gets barreled into as he dove up to the 6-yard line. Good hit there by DeVos.
Yeah, but you talked about the attention that they're getting. Wall Street Journal did an article last week or a few weeks ago. They're really starting to get a lot of publicity for what they are able to do from a football standpoint. And the one thing they all talked about is being able to be in a position to get back to McKinney again this year.
Both running backs in the game. They have Walker lined up as an H-back left. Roper, the tailback. Matoka to throw or run. He's going to try to dive in, and he finds his way for 6.
We said it earlier. John Matoka's ability to pull that at the right time, his ball skills. Look at the defense, and he pulls it, and no one knows he's there. Now, he's the guy that you have to secure against, but he's so good. Watch. Right there, and then he's able to take off. There's no containment for him, and he sees it and knows it and is able to get in for 6.
5th straight game now for John Matoka that he has rushed for a touchdown. He's accounted for all 4 Mine scores today. 8 plays, 60 yards. Matoka with 3 touchdown passes. He says, let's do it with the feet. Into the snow pile, a touchdown for Colorado's School of Mines. A real uphill climb right now for the Golden Bears. Down 21, 4:25 to go in this third quarter as John Matoka with the 7-yard rushing touchdown, capping off a long drive for the Ore Diggers. 8 plays, 60 yards. Matoka with the rushing touchdown. We talked about it. That's now 5 straight games he has found the end zone with his legs. Curtis Ravenel awaiting the kick as Blake Dowd and Hunter Pearson, this terrific special teams combo. Ravenel from the 10 has some space if he can get to the corner. Ravenel trying to turn on the Jets, slowed up at the 35 and then pushed out of bounds past the 40. Charles, when you come to Mines and Golden, Colorado in this offense, you better have hands and you better be ready to catch it at all angles and at all elevations. And Spencer, our camera guy who's up in the tower high above the field here, yeah, look at that. Look what he brought in.
Well, the fans were cheering. And I was like, he must have caught it. Yeah.
There you go.
It's almost like Simba in The Lion King.
You spike that ball. Don't spike Simba, but you can spike it up there.
That was great.
Judd Novak in this offense now. Might have to open it up a little bit, down 21. They will hand the ball off. And again, there is just nothing for Darrell Davis McNeil. A frustrating day for the graduate student who's been one of the better running backs to come through this program.
Well, if you think about it, Jordan Davis is out. Jaden Stewart, another backup, was shaken up earlier. I don't know if he's back. So Darrell Davis McNeil and now Stephen Burkhardt have to be the 2 runners besides Judd Novak.
It has become a theme with this defense for Mines. Don't plan on running against them. They put Gibson in motion. Watch out, Novak dumps it, and a collision there. Davis McNeil, the hard-nosed back, and he laid the punishment that time, and an Ore Digger slow to get up.
Jackson Zimmerman was the one that came up. That was 29.
Timeout for entry
he
on
took
the
a
defense.
shot. And Darrell Davis McNeil, when you watch guys that are violent runners, downhill runners, he gets those shoulders down, and you're going to see it here. He knows the run is coming. He's going to lower his head. Almost when you would think, is that a situation where you put your head down and you use that as a means? Offensively, you don't see it called, but that was a run where he was just able to run through Jackson Zimmerman. Let's just hope he's okay.
What a year it has been for Zimmerman, who leads this team. 6 interceptions this year for the redshirt sophomore from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, replacing the All-American Mason Pierce, one of 6 players from Valor Christian, who we know is one of the top high school programs in the country. As we go take another look here at this collision involving Zimmerman and the 210-pounder Davis McNeil.
Yeah, they both go down and almost like ram-like with their helmets, both of them. And Jackson Zimmerman took the worst of that. But again, you don't see it called much offensively, but I've had conversations with officials. Being a former offensive guy, I know I have had to use my helmet on people. You don't see targeting called that way because it's generally not a defenseless player, but it's still the crown of the helmet that always intrigues me from an offensive standpoint, that they can still do that.
So we'll keep an eye on Zimmerman. You look at the other corners for Mines. Mikey Barker has had a good year. The opposite side with Will Drogosh and Cam Forrest.
Looks like the way he's holding his arm, you hope it's just not a shoulder injury. But a key weapon for that Mines defense.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 7. 3rd downs have not been kind to Kutztown. 1 of 6 today. Novak throws. Gibson makes the catch, and this is going to be real close. He'll be just short, setting up 4th down. Good job there by Devin Lauer.
And they thought about it in the first half and didn't do it, but I think now they have their offense there. It'll be interesting to see at this point of the field, will they go for it on 4th down? I think they will.
This sellout crowd, an opportunity to make some noise. Novak throws. Davis McNeil the catch. He stretches ahead. Oh, it looked like he was dead to right off initial contact, but he stretched that football at the last second, and he moves the chains. What an individual effort from Darrell Davis McNeil.
Man, he barely got that. And the defense was on him so quick. Again, you look at it, there's a missed block by Curtis Ravenel. He was blocking Colin Romero.
Timeout, Mines.
Wow.
The first of the half.
Mines is going to use a timeout. Romero has been a busy safety today, the 5th-year senior. And Davis McNeil showing his physicality a couple of times in this particular drive.
His second effort put him in a position where he could get that 1st down, but they're going to take a look at it. And Mines is smart here to call the timeout because it allowed the official to think or give them a chance to look from an up top position as to whether this is a 1st down or not.
Line that gets the 49.
He does a good job of keeping his knees from going down, but did he go down like right there? You see how he puts his hand down? Watch him put his hand down and then use that effectively. The knee doesn't go down because he's on Romero. Man, that's going to be hard to overturn it. Just from that angle. Great second effort by Davis McNeil.
And if you're Kutztown, this is a must get.
Yeah,
if you have any shot at getting back into this football game, this is one that you hope does not get overturned. And I agree with you, Charles. I don't think there's enough evidence from what we're seeing to overturn the spot ruling on the field.
Well, he was able to stay on the body of Romero and just reach out before going down. Now the elbow does go down there. Man, that is so close.
Davis McNeil graduated last spring, sports management, pursuing his master's in public administration. 1,000-yard rusher a year ago, so close this season, closing in on 3,000 career rushing yards, and what a career it has been.
After further review, the ruling on the field has been overturned.
How about that? They overturn it, and Mines comes up with the stop to the delight of thousands here.
You can't hear what the official said, but did his elbow hit down before he went there and was able to stretch out? That was a huge turnover on downs for Mines.
And that type of day for this offense, normally a really reliable ground game.
Well, it's tough when they take the ground game away from you and they can put so much pressure on the quarterback. It just makes it difficult.
See if Mines goes for the knockout punch. Gaping hole into the secondary goes Noah Roper. Not touched until about 15, 20 yards downfield. Moving the pile all the way to the 11. 37 yards. How about the hole from the offensive line?
Man, in the interior between the center guard area. Man, that was a huge hole, and Noah Roper took advantage of it. Watch on the interior there, just great blocking inside, and Noah sees his eyes get big as soon as he sees that hole opening up on the inside.
Steele Petty, the center, first year in the center position. He's replacing a Remington Award winner. This time, Kutztown does a much better job swarming the football. That was Jones, Devon Jones, the first one in there.
A 6-year senior, Steele Petty, natural leader out of the Woodlands, right outside of Houston. Real smart guy, IDs things, helps John Matoka, who is also really, really good student in his own right. These two guys work very well together from that center quarterback combination.
This is an offensive line, when you look at the 5 linemen in there, with over 2 decades of combined experience. They have played a lot of football. Matoka with time throws just shy of the goal line, and a big-time hit put by C.J. Brown. That jarred the ball free. Roper unable to reel it in.
Really nice job by C.J. Brown. Been banged up some this year, but when he's been healthy, he's done this. Noah Roper going across the field thinks he has a catch, and then C.J. Brown sizes him up, does a nice job of form tackling and knocking that ball out. It's the only thing for this Golden Bears defense is not being able to turn the ball over and stop them from scoring, which this one here you can't have.
They move the pocket. Matoka patient. Now he runs out of time, and he is sacked by Cam Wolf. Loss of 7 back to the 18.
Great job by Cam Wolf. Jumps up and stops him, and then comes down and still is able to tackle him. No stop and no quitting. He and Weary and this rest of this defense. This defense has played as well as you can expect against this tough offense.
Mines will let the third quarter clock run out. Cam Wolf, C.J. Brown, this Golden Bear defense trying to put a last-second stop together. But the fans here delighted through 3 quarters. All Mines as we march to the 4th. Mines leading Kutztown 28-7 as a 4th down coming up for the Ore Diggers. This is a program that embraces the term nerd, and this is where nerds win. That's the athletic department's motto, and you see on the back of their helmets, they list their majors: electrical engineering, computer science, just to let the opponents know who they're dealing with each and every week.
I love it. I love it.
4th and 16, they can still pick up a first down. Matoka with a wobbler, knuckleballer, and it falls incomplete, shy of Max McLeod. Now, why go for it on 4th down? Well, a developing situation as you start thinking maybe toward next week. Hunter Pearson, The starting kicker came up lame earlier in this game. Their backup, Jacob Click, not in uniform, so they actually had the third string and wide receiver Sean Roberts loosening up.
Yeah, he was on the sideline kicking and warming up. Nigel Wilson is also the reason why that ball didn't get there. He was able to hit Matoka's hand or arm before he could throw it.
So how about that stop for the Golden Bears? Again, battling to the end, and they're going to get it to Sincere Thomas, his second catch. Thomas is pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Well, when you looked at them against 2 weeks ago against Charleston, they were in a position where they shouldn't have been in the game. And then late, they started making a run. This is another nice catch by Ravenel. But they've got to do this earlier. You're so much further behind than they were in that game.
There's not much offensively for Judd Novak.
He had a long run in that first half also that added to that 140 yards.
59 of those yards coming on his touchdown run. They try to spring Ravenel off the screen. He'll pick up the first down. Logan Rayburn, fifth-year senior from the aforementioned Dallas, Texas. Houston and Dallas, two hot recruiting beds for Mines.
Denver is their start, and they use that as a real key area for them to get their kids.
Adrian Moreno and this defense trying to bring it home as the sun sets. Pressure comes. Novak pivots out of harm. Now throws, directing traffic, and right near the sticks, Ravenel makes the catch. I'll tell you what, he kind of had some John Matoka in him right there.
Well, Evan Alexander should have had him down. He couldn't get to him. And Novak did a nice job of spinning out. Watch it, you see 31 beating the running back on the edge of the tight end, and he gets around, and Novak's calling. I think Novak, that was kind of cool. He said go deep, but he knew he had him right there on the edge.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted Ravenel to take off again.
But I think it was also to set up the defense to make he was going deep and then just finding him right there.
These coaches raved about Judd Novak when he's not playing football. He's a confident young leader, is finding some room as Steven Burkhart. He plows on to the plus side right at midfield.
Burkhart and Sincere Thomas had big returns against Charleston. That's a key run. You got to figure Burkhart will see a lot more of him in this fourth quarter.
Another injury for Mines. This time it's Evan Alexander who's down on the turf, slow to get up. So we saw Zimmerman get hurt earlier in the game, and now it is Alexander. Injury timeout. Mines with the lead. When Mines head coach Brandon Moore left for San Diego this offseason, everybody around this campus knew that Pete Sturbick was going to be the guy. He had been the offensive coordinator for 4 years. Sturbick taking the head position, and interestingly enough, for this program, that's now 3 coaches in 3 years. Greg Brandon retired back in 21. Brandon Moore did a great job last year. He goes to the West Coast, and now it's Sturbick running the show. Novak hop skips into a hole off the right side for 8 yards. And, you know, it's interesting when you look at this program for Mines from 1929 to 99, they only had 10 winning seasons. And a lot of the credit for the turnaround goes to Bob Stitt.
Yeah, he was able to get this program really on track. And all of the, you know, when you talk about the program and the tradition, it starts with Bob Stitt. And now you can see these guys all putting their own spin on it, but still you got to give credit to where it started.
And what was Stitt famous for? His offensive innovation.
Yeah. Fly, jet sweep, and just doing so many different things he was able to do in the game of football.
Novak running, now at the last second finds Husser, the big tight end. The more you watch Judd Novak, you see why these coaches are excited about the future.
And when you see why his players like playing with him, and understanding how he stays alive. And Husser right there, that was a really nice one.
The offensive production with Sturbick, 19, 21, and 22. Keep in mind, no season in 2020 because of COVID, and they just keep getting better and better. And even with the high volume of numbers in previous years, this is the best they've shown offensively.
It doesn't hurt having Matoka either.
It does not. A lot of good sleep if you're the OC with Matoka as quarterback. Could be some good sleep with Novak as well in the future as this young man continues to grow before our eyes.
Yeah, he's not fearful, and I think that's what you're going to get out of him. He's going to keep fighting and battling. But getting back to Matoka and Sturbick, your system is one thing, but your players make your system. And I like the fact that you can have an identity of what you want to do, and both of these programs understand that. You got to allow your big players to make those plays when it comes time.
Second down and short, 2nd and 3. Bunch formation up the middle. It is Burkhart, and he is swallowed up a yard shy of the first down.
It almost feels like this defense knows when they have a team that is trying to encroach on their turf, they just get much, much more tougher.
Burkhart, the redshirt freshman, he was given a medical redshirt last year due to injuries, a 3-sport athlete, almost played college basketball, but decided to go with football, and he's had a couple of good ones to learn behind with Davis, McNeil, and Davis. Novak will keep it, and he will keep the drive alive. First down run for Judd Novak, taking it to the 20, and another red zone trip. Hester the tackle.
Yeah, good job also by the right side of that offensive line, and also Burkhart. See, they come off the ball well and get to the second level. Really nice job by Gino Campagna. He was able to start the tackle posted. He was able to knock the defender off, and they could all climb to that second level.
They love their two tight ends on those short yardage situations with Lovengup and Campagna. Burkhart, the running back, they try to swing it out to him, and that was a forward pass, incomplete. Jaden Healy was with him.
And Novak wants that ball back because he just didn't give Burkhart a chance to even make a play on that.
Second down.
He had been so good at getting that out to Daryl Davis McNeil on a few occasions, even the one where they didn't pick up the 4th down, but that one just didn't come out his hand smoothly.
Let's give you a quick injury update. Jackson Zimmerman back out there, the corner for Mines. Evan Alexander being attended to on the bench as we speak. Second down and 10. Novak running into some trouble, spins out of an arm tackle, now throws, ball batted up in the air, incomplete.
And that's Jackson Zimmerman knocking the ball in the air. He is a guy that just plays at a different level. 6 picks, like you said, 8 pass breakups coming in. And this is a nice job by Novak of just staying alive. I don't know how he didn't go down by Josh Pollard. But again, Jackson Zimmerman with that length. Look at that long arm and gets it out there at the last second to knock it up in the air. Trying to allow one of his defenders to come and pick that off.
Shook off the big bear claw of Josh Pollard. Moreno had a chance at him as well. Third down and 10. Obviously 4-down territory here. Low throw, diving catch is made. Zabo with his first catch.
Didn't give him really a chance to catch and do much after that. And you know they better go for it on 4th down at this point. Using a lot of clock.
Marcel Quarterman trying to find that right play. These fans having a blast on what's turned out to be a real chilly late afternoon. There's to be any mile-high magic for Kutztown. They need a score here, looking for Ravenel, some contact, and here comes the flag. A lot of contact. Joel Diaz trying to slow him down.
That was a smart play by Ravenel. Ravenel's tried to slow down and make him run through him. That's what Diaz is saying. But this is a really good job by a veteran receiver of understanding. Now, yeah, there's pull. You can see him getting pulled there by Nate Sutter, excuse me. See, Nate is pulling on him, and then Ravenel is able to get him off, but that's enough to impede his progress.
Pass interference. Defense, number 26.
And the fans don't like it, but you could see it. They want to say the ball was thrown over his head, but it was thrown over his head because he was being pulled. But he did a good job, as I was saying earlier, of slowing down just enough to force Sutter to do that.
It's been a pretty clean football game, all in all. That's just the third penalty on Mines. Golden Bears with just one penalty in this football game.
I'll just say this, you better put these Golden Bears away. That's the only thing I know from watching film the last few weeks.
Burkhardt is the running back. He flanks Novak to the left. And some confusion. The ball put on the turf. Mines says they have it, and they do. The recovery for the Ore Diggers. Zach Hester.
You got to value the football there. And when you try to make a lot of things happen on the inside, and I know they're trying to do a lot of different things, but you cannot do that. And I tell you, Judd Novak did a nice job on that drive, but Zach Hester came up big. He could put on that hat, and so that he got the turnover.
A couple of turnovers for the Golden Bears near the end zone have cost them some scoring opportunities. The fumble recovery just a few moments ago, and now the Mines offense back to work, led by this offensive line. Levi Johnson, the winner of the Gene Upshaw Award given to the best senior lineman in Division II. Historical moment for Mines. He's the first Ore Digger to win the award, the third time there's been a nominee. Big anchor on that right side. They will go to work, a steady dose. Right now you can expect of Noah Roper, but Charles, you go to this offensive front, you have so many weapons in the skill spots, but a lot of times these guys get forgotten about. But boy, they have built a relationship with their quarterback.
They really have. I mean, you think about Levi Johnson being his roommate and then all the other guys. We talked about, hey, you know, he has to take care of them, right? Does he feed them? What does he do for them? And I'm sure they love hanging out with him, and they understand how valuable John Matoka is, but he understands how valuable this offensive line is.
The line that has been able to stay healthy, as you see the cut, the plant foot from Roper, and what an addition he has been. He's blended in with this offensive line, started his career at Dartmouth, spent 4 years with the Ivy School, earned his degree, and then he came back home to his state of Colorado.
Well, look what they were able to do, that right side of the line of scrimmage of Marlette and Lee, and being able to just effectively get in there. That offensive line is the value of what they're able to do and how they're able to get those yards and not allow John Matoka to get sacked.
Double move, wide open. Sheely has to wait for it, but he high points it beautifully and makes the catch at the 32.
Yeah, John wants that back because if he throws it out there, there's 6. That was a great job by Sheely of slowing down and going up and getting it. Sheely has had himself a day. Good protection again. That pump fake, slant and go. He's able to go up and get it.
42 yards to Flynn Sheely, who is having a career day. Coming into this semifinal, a couple of 100-yard efforts. It's Pueblo and New Mexico Highlands, and he has surpassed those totals today. 11 catches, 181 yards. Matoka dodging missiles, somehow stays on his feet, picks up positive yards up to the 28.
It didn't really look like he wanted to do that. The play was not ever smoothly run from the beginning, and then Matoka said, okay, let me just try to go get some yards. And he's able to pick up almost 6 yards on that play. think he was expecting his running back to go the other way and work with him, and then he saw, hey, I don't have anybody, I'm just going to take off.
This drive started back at the Mines 5. Hoffman in motion, low snap, dug out. Matoka gets it to the aforementioned Zach Hoffman, who tries to weave his way up near the first down. Pushed out by Drew Hinser, the redshirt junior. First-year starter, coming off his best game of the season last week in the quarterfinal win.
Yeah, you know, it's just been interesting. You know, when you look at this Kutztown team, what they were able to do in this run, it looks like this game, if it goes the way it's going now, will be the end for them. But, man, I tell you, they battled every single week that you watch them on tape.
Third down and short. This will be Walker. Stiff arms a defender. Gets to the corner. A race to the pylon. He's in.
Touchdown, Walker. And it all comes off of that blocking up front and allowing Landon Walker to just easily work his way into the end zone. I mean, really nice blocking. Doesn't even need the block of Noah Roper. Got in for 6.
95-yard drive, and now the third-string kicker gets into the score column. Sean Roberts boots the point after through. Oh, there's going to be quite a party in the town of Golden, Colorado tonight. Some airplane tickets heading to Texas to be purchased in the next 12 hours. (35-7) Colorado School of Mines out in front of Kutztown. First time these two teams have ever met, and it comes here in the national semifinals, and a lot of different offensive stars today. The band plays on, and 24-hour stretch where we saw
the band has hard hats on.
They do.
Yeah,
I just noticed that.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Is that in honor of the Ore Digger?
I would say
I'm guessing.
So.
Take a look at this combination. We started this broadcast with dynamic duos, and it was Matoka and McLeod. Well, Matoka today has found a new favorite target in Flynn Sheely, and they just can beat you in so many different ways. Look at the afternoon for Sheely.
Yeah, and I don't think it's new, but it's just more we're starting to see more of. 54 catches coming into today's game, 774 yards, 8 touchdowns, but he added 2 more. And look at the amount of yards, 16.5 yards per catch. He's been outstanding today. And
a lot of those catches for Sheely have been contested.
I agree. Going up and high pointing it and having to fight for the football.
Little squib kick, and the Golden Bears will have it. Let's go back to the connection. Matoka and Sheely, and they got it going early in this one.
Yeah, they did, and right away you're going to see 14 come over on that deep over. Matoka says, okay, if you're going to cover McLeod and you don't cover him, I'm going to get it out to different guys and make plays with different folks. But when I know I need him, I know he'll be there. Sheely again. Antoine Lloyd right there, but couldn't cover that one. It's been one of those days for those two. The combination has been well advertised with McLeod. Now you got another one to add to the mix in Sheely.
Third 100-yard plus receiving effort this season for Sheely.
This defense has been all that's advertised as well. They've had a few scares from Novak, but man, they have just been salty.
They want to set up the screen, and a low throw. He just couldn't get anything behind it. I think that was Pollard who was pressuring him.
Yeah, well, the pressure didn't let him get really comfortable just to give a nice, easy screen pass. He has not been in a situation where it's been comfortable all day. I think the Mines defense likes it like that.
Gets rid of it quickly and tackled immediately before Ravenel could get the engine ignited, nothing.
Yeah. It was a good tackle by Nolan Reed, but he's coming off holding the shoulder.
Coming into this semifinal for Reeve, he has been on a roll. He's been involved in 3 straight games as far as impact. Strip sack against Fort Lewis. He had a scoop and score against Augustana, then another strip sack against Central Washington last week. He is that type of disruptor. He has a sack already today as well.
Stat stuffer. You know, every stat you can think of, he has it.
3rd down and 10. Novak, let's see if he takes off, keeps his eyes downfield, now throws. Looked like there was an opportunity he might have been able to run for it early on in that play, but he wanted to make the throw, and a 4th down coming up, looking for Zabo.
Well, the pursuit and the pressure got to him. He had no chance to slow down, and I think what Trip Thomas talks about with this defense comes to form. They play hard, they play fast, and he said, hey, find your seat at the table. I like that. If you find your seat at the table, we'll continue to give you opportunities to make plays.
Did you see that last pat on the shoulder on the communication with Clements and his young coach Novak? That is why Jim Clements has been so successful. These players talk about it, the open door policy and the communication that he has with these players and the respect they have. And you see some frustrations mounting, and this is an emotional time, especially when you have these experienced players maybe putting on the cleats for the final time. Both these teams with so many 5th, 6th-year guys.
Yeah, and that's part of the frustration because they know they want to keep playing, have another opportunity to play.
Defense number 92. It'll be a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
So running and not roughing as we expected, so it still is going to be 4th down. The Golden Bears.
Will be another opportunity for them to try to pin Mine's offense back as deep as they can.
Bakwe getting a piece of him. Not a lot of contact, but enough to put Millard down, and now following the penalty, they will send the offense out. So here comes Novak, 4th and 5. Need to get it to the 44-yard line. 4-man Mines defensive front, Novak, and they knew it was coming. Bakwe again. So after he ran into the punter, he makes amends, able to get the TFL.
Bakwe, James Hess, and a couple of other guys right there, Johnny, on the spot. They knew that play was coming, and they blew it up.
McKinney, Texas next week on ESPNU, a 1 o'clock kickoff. Harding earlier today, 55-14. Mines in a lopsided game here in Golden, Colorado. So Mines and Harding, two teams with a lot of momentum, both teams with some skill. We talked about the common denominator with these top 10 Ds. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will be. I think if you're Kutztown, you would think we had a chance. And there were a couple of opportunities where we hurt ourselves to at least try to score. That one that we saw in this quarter, late when you turn the ball over, and then also the interception. You know, you start thinking, what if, from the Golden Bears perspective. But if you're Mines, you got to be happy with how your team has played defensively and how they played offensively.
Braylon Tate has checked in as the running back. He's to the right of Matoka. Tate with the carry, spinning his way. Showed some patience there. The hole wasn't opened up initially, but he waited. Good job of the young redshirt freshman from McDonough, Georgia, Legacy High School. Scout Team Player of the Year a season ago for Mines.
He's going to get his chance. And the other thing we didn't get much into today is that D2 this year finally decided to give the opportunity for freshmen to play 3 games without burning a red shirt. At the upper level, it's more 4 games, but this is a great opportunity for young men to get in and play and get some experience.
Walker up the middle, and he is tripped up inside the 20. So the Wildcat formation has worked in this fourth quarter. Landon Walker inside the red zone. And yeah, Charles, that's a really good point. Solid move by the NCAA, and these coaches appreciate it.
It does, because it gives you a chance to get young players to play, and if you don't want to redshirt them, you still get them an opportunity to get some experience. They still redshirt, and they come back the next year and able to know that they've had some game experience.
Blake Ramsey into the game. Josh Krause checking in as a receiver. First down and 10. They hand the ball off. Mickelson zigzagging his way up to the 6. 13 more yards and a first down. Jalen Hill, the tackle.
Well, this is the part of the game where your offensive line is in love with the run game, because they know it's getting close to ending the game.
Look at this offensive line with Vandegraff, Heckman, who's coming back following back-to-back years cut short by injury at left guard. Talked about Petty at center, Marlatt at right guard, and then the Upshaw winner Johnson at right tackle. Bouncing off Johnson at that right tackle position was Mickelson, and he is drugged down by Cam Wolf.
Yeah, really nice tackle on the outside there. Mickelson, I thought he had a chance to easily walk in, but the defense closed on him pretty quickly.
Inside a minute to go, and this sellout crowd inside Marquet Stadium showing their appreciation as they come to their feet.
They're happy about today, but if you talk to anyone around this program, they know what's next. Not going to the D2 championship, but winning the Division II championship.
The victory formation. They won't have to take another snap. John Matoka and Mines 18 seconds away from a trip for the second straight year to McKinney, Texas.
You got to be happy with what has happened this season. It's hard enough to win ball games, but to go 14-0. And you had a game, Golden Bears team in front of you this week. Harding next week, but you got to celebrate this victory and look to the next, and that's an opportunity to play for the championship.
Matoka goes 30 of 37 for 292, 3 passing touchdowns. He adds a rushing score as well. In a stadium, in a fan base here in Golden, Colorado, that has watched him put up eye-popping, record-setting numbers, not just at the Division II level, but all of college football.
Yeah, he's been able to be so effective, and we could see why today. I mean, you know, when you watch somebody and you see them play on TV or you watch them on film, it's not the same until you see him live. And I have been very impressed with his ability. He showed a lot today, and I'm looking forward to seeing him one more week.
Unfinished business last year when you talk to the Ore Diggers this offseason, and you mentioned it. One thing on their mind, and that is to hoist the Division II National Championship. It should be a fantastic atmosphere. Harding coming in from Arkansas, Mines from the state of Colorado. Those two to duke it out.
You can't ask for anything more but an opportunity, and I think both these teams wanted that. Mines understanding what it felt like not to win it last year. It's going to be interesting to see how they approach this week. But Harding also, neither team has ever won the entire championship, and I think that's the part that's going to be interesting leading up to this ball game next week.
A program record 9th home game this year for Mines. Now 14-0 in the season. The 14 wins, a new program record. They won 13 last year. And the celebration gets underway in Golden. The bracket is set, the championship set. Next Saturday, 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. Colorado School of Mines and Harding to settle it.
We'll be there. I'm so excited about it, and I know you are too, partner. Let's make it happen.
What an afternoon of football and one of the more scenic backdrops in all of college football. Two states of Pennsylvania and Colorado colliding for the first time in D2, and they had to clear the snow. 7 inches of it arrived overnight. It did not slow down this offense. Mines moves into the national final. For Charles Arbuckle, this is Sean Kenny and our crew from Golden saying so long